Okay guys, so today we'll start joining our crochet along join as you go granny blanket. Again, I did mine like in rainbow orders and the inverse of rainbow order if you guys recall. So today we're going to join these in, well, for myself, the 7th round on each one is going to be black yarn, but whatever 7th color or 4th color or 3rd color you want to use depending on how you did your squares. I just laid them out just so you have a better idea, because you know part of it's supposed to be kind of like a surprise is what you're working on, but obviously I didn't want to go too surprisey, so that way you guys can see what you're doing. But so again, I started with the inverse one, which is with the red. I made 13 of those, and then I did 12 of the regular order, starting with red in the middle, going out, rainbow order that way. And I just like the red ones a little more. I felt like they pop more, so that's why I did more of that than of the purple around the edges. So do however you like. Again, if you get to this point, you're like, you know what, I kind of like the other square better. Okay, we'll make one more of the other square that you want in the top corner because maybe you don't have enough right now. But yeah, you just need 12 of one type, 13 of the other. But we are going to basically just do the 7th round of same granny square pattern, and then we start attaching them together while you're actually making that 7th round. So let's go to the table and we'll start doing that. Okay, so we're here at my table and I just had to start a new ball because I haven't used black yet, and I forgot I wanted to show you guys. All you do, if it's not sticking out like it should, just reach in there and pull out this middle section and you'll find the end of the yarn. You don't want to use the yarn end from like the outside, because then your ball of yarn is going to be moving and moving and moving and it makes a mess. So you want to come out from the center. And this is the review I did yesterday of the Anna Griffin concentric frame, so hopefully you guys have checked that out if you're interested. Okay guys, so yeah, so this is just a continuation of the same rounds that we've been doing. Of course, in the videos I haven't, you know, continued every single round. I went to like the 4th round just so you can see, because after that it just continues the same thing, right? You do your granny corner in the corners, you do your little granny cluster or fan in the chain 1 spaces, and you move on. So this, for the very first one, this is the top left corner granny square. I already sewed in all the ends except for these last ones. I don't know why, I just left the very last one. Hopefully it'll be easy to sew in once we do this last round. And if you got to this point and you're like, oh, I want, you know, maybe a bigger blanket, okay, add more granny squares to the right or to the left, or bring them down. You know, you can make this as big as you want. You can make it as big as a bedspread, which I think would be really fun right now, especially since I have nothing but time, which I've never made a bedspread. I think back in the day you're supposed to have like made a bedspread, you know, to show that you're ready to get married or something, I don't know. but obviously that was like a nice fancy, you know, smaller crochet hook than this, but this will be fun, a little rustic bedspread. But and you can always find measurements of how big something should be, either on packages, like if you go to buy a queen size or a king size blanket or bedspread, it'll tell you there, but you can always look it up online. It's especially for like quilting numbers, they'll tell you exactly what size things need to be for it to work out for different types of beds. Just Google it, you know, standard bedspread sizes or something like that. So we're going to start with our black, and again, this is the top left corner. So I'm going to show you how to join a few different situations that you're going to run into. Other than that, you're not going to run into anything else than this, right? So it's the first one. We're going to completely do the whole frame around it. So we slip stitch there, and then I've been doing 3 up for my double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain. If you do 2 chain, do whatever you do, but always do it consistently. Don't change it out. And now we need 2 double crochets. So again, this is exactly the same as we've been doing. And then 2 chains, 3 double crochet. You can also start with a standing stitch, and however it is that you like to crochet. And what that means is you basically make like a double crochet in your hand, really, and then attach it here. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, so okay, now we have that. And of course, I always hold my little yarn so I can kind of crochet over it. So let me close up just a little bit because I can see I can do that. And I'll come down this way. Oh, I hate later when I go to edit, I'm like, ah, I was way up here. You know, it's better to be kind of in the middle third. But anyway, chain 1, because now we're going to go into the 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. So 1, I'll just do this for a little bit just so you guys can see, because this is the same thing we've been doing. Okay, 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1, And so in every single one of these spaces right here, we're going to add in a 3 double crochet. So I'll do it kind of quickly. So hopefully you guys are trying it out. I heard from a couple of you guys that you're gonna try. Please do. I really would think it's really fun. And I know I'm on Instagram. I don't have the hugest presence on Instagram, but if you do it or you start it, take a picture and tag me. Let me know. Chain 1, because I would love to see what you're doing. I think the next thing I'm going to work on is just like a scrap. I always say scrap blanket because I buy yarns just because they're pretty and then I don't use them. So they're not really scraps. They're just yarns that I bought that I haven't used. Chain 1, 3 double crochet. So again, it's the same pattern that we've been doing for all of everything, all the rounds. 3, chain 1, and holding this yarn in the front so I can catch it here. That kind of helps us already weave that in. 1, 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then we're back to our corner. So again, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in that same chain 2 space. I have not written this part of the pattern up, so after I do this and I edit my video or start editing, I will edit that or add the second, I guess. Maybe I'll just edit it. No, I'll add another post. I'll have to do another post just to keep it separate. So there'll be a link to my blog so you can read about this part. But like I said, there's only a few situations you're going to get into as you're joining that you're going to need to know about. So there's that first beginning of that round. And again, we're just going to, you know, keep working around like we do. So I will be back because, again, super repetitive. Same thing we've been doing. Did I chain 1 already? No, I hadn't. Okay. I've told you guys before, if to know if you chain 1 or chain 2 and aren't sure, if this is open, like your last stitch, you can open like this, and you have not chained 1. Okay, so it didn't seal up. So chain 1, and now you won't be able to open it like that because there's another little loop behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this whole round doing the exact same pattern we've been doing, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I got my coffee here. So we're at the last one. Again, 3 double crochet. And look how the black border just makes it pop. I love it, I love it, I love it. I knew it was going to look awesome. Wouldn't it be cute too to have like pastels of rainbow color? I think that'd be sweet. But anyway, okay, so chain 3 double crochet, chain 1, and again join to the top of your beginning chain, if it's chain 2 or chain 3, however, but the very top of that one. And you do finish it off. So that's one thing that's kind of like, because if you can just keep going with one continuous, and there's other ways to do this that people do, and join it however you like. And some people join as you go. Literally, you make the blocks as you go. When I make the next block, I finish it and I go ahead and join it, you know. But for me, just joining as you go is good enough, being that the last round we're doing always, you know, at the same time and joining them as we go. So okay, so this is our top corner, or one of them. I'm gonna put it to the side right now because we don't need this right now, but we will need it in a little bit. So the next one is going to be the inverse, right? With the purple. So I'm gonna grab one of those and we're gonna do the same thing this time, but we're gonna stop after 2 sides, okay? And you can do 3 sides. You can start attaching it now, but that doesn't really make much sense. So I like to do 2 sides, and I learned this when I was making that pixel blanket I showed you guys. Oh my gosh, so many ends to weave in on that one. But I rather do little pieces and then as much as I can out here and then connect it, because once the blanket starts getting bigger and bigger, it's going to be much harder for you to try to connect it at the beginning and then still work the rest of the round. It's just not fun. So it's better to do as much as you can out in the open, like out here, and then do what you need to do. So we're just going to attach this, and we're going to work the first 2 sides the same as always. So what's this thing doing? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that's counts as the first double crochet. Again, as always, we're gonna do 2 more, chain 2, 3 double crochet all in that same corner. And again, same thing, I'm gonna go across this whole side just like we've been doing for rounds 1 through 6. Well, actually rounds 3 through 6, right? Because rounds 1 and 2 are a little bit different. But chain 1, 3 double crochet in the chain 1 space. And I'll do these next 2 this side and the next side, and I'll be right back. Exactly the same pattern. Okay, so I'm here almost to the corner. Okay, so we finished the one side. We started with a corner, finished the one side, and they look kind of wonky. So I'm going to finish this 3 double crochet in this last chain 1 space, and then we're going to do half of a corner, and we're going to attach it to the start attaching now. So this is like if you were just working on the strip, okay? The other way we have to also attach things is possibly in a corner like this, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But so these are the 2 types of joinings we're going to have to do. And if you want to, like I said, you know, do another side, once you get used to it, go ahead. I just like to do the same thing every time, and I think this looks prettier, and then when you can finish this strip on your own. So let's say I did 3 sides, and now this 4th one is what's going to connect, and then I have to come down, and we already started at the corner, and I have to do something different now. Like, it's just, it's better not to. But whatever style you like to do this with, then go ahead. So we did our 3 double crochet, chain 1. So we're going to do the 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 in the corner, right? Now we have a chain 2 here. So instead of the chain 1s, or instead of both chain 2s, we're going to be attaching. So if we're just going to skip one of those things. So on the chain 1 spaces where I normally would chain 1 in between, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to attach it. And then on the chain 2s, we're going to chain 1. The next thing will be attaching it. That'll count for the chain 2, and then we're going to move on. So so basically, how am I going to position this for you guys? I haven't chained 1 yet, so I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to bring my hook into the top of the corner, right? That chain 2 space, right in through there. And as you see, my yarn has to come around here. We're going to pull up a loop of yarn, right? And then pull that through the loop you already had on your hook. And now these are attached. But I have to finish my corner. So I'm going to yarn over, go back into the same one on the purple one we were working, and finish our 3 double crochet. 1, 2. I'll do that again, so obviously I'll try to make it more obvious. 3. Now I normally would chain 1 here to start the next 3 double crochet, right? I'm going to lay this down so we can see this. Normally I would do chain 1 and then go in here and do my 3 double crochet, but we're not going to do that. So here's our next chain 1 space after the corner from the previous guy, right here. And we just finished our chain 3, or 3 double crochet, and normally I would chain 1 and then go and do the next cluster, but now we're not doing that. What we're going to do is dig into, again, the very top of this guy, go in there, yarn over, however you need to do to catch it, bring that yarn through, and bring it through the loop on your hook. Now that's replaced. And then yarn over and do our 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. Remember, we've already done this. We're not doing anything over here to this guy other than hooking it in. So we have to do work over here. 1, 2. And they might start getting looser. Like, really pay attention to your tension, because just the way you're working, it feels a little different. Like, I can see that my 3 double crochets are a little bit looser than I was working, so just keep that in mind. 3, again, we're not going to chain 1, but we're going to go into the next chain 1 space. Okay, we have our loop on here, right? We're going to stick our hook through. We're going to yarn this over so that we can pull it up, right? So we have that yarn over we just did, and then pull that through the loop that was on our hook. Yarn over, 3 double crochet. So I'm doing this a little bit slower, kind of moving that out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Again, no chain 1, but we're going to go into the next chain 1 space, put our hook in there, grab our yarn, pull it through the loop we had, and yarn over, 3 double crochet again in the next chain 1 space of our inverse granny. We're almost done, guys, and this works up so fast. Okay, again, no chain 1. So hopefully, let me pull this out so you can start seeing that it's connecting. This is starting to be 1. There's no taking those apart. Super easy, super cute. And then the corners look really cute when you get them going. But again, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Again, into the chain one space, pull up your loop, pull it through your, and keep going. 3 double crochet. So I hope this is very easy for you guys to see and I'm not losing you. Again, no chain one, but we'll go into our chain one space across here, pull up the loop, pull it through, and there are tons of tutorials and stuff like this, so if it's not clear what I'm saying, I'm sure you can find somewhere else. Look up JAYG, Join As You Go Granny, or just type out Join As You Go Granny, and you'll see lots of different things. 1, 2, 3, and then we're back at almost the beginning here, or the end, I don't know how you want to call it. So in there, again, pull up our loop. Oopsie, I lost it, that's okay. Go back in the top, pull up your loop, pull it through your hook. Okay, so now we're back at this corner. So I'm gonna do 3 double crochet, 1, into the corner, right? 2, 3, chain 1, and you can join it and then do the chain 1, or you can do the chain 1 then join it, however you like. I just do the chain 1 first and then I join it, so it doesn't matter, but do it consistently the same. So again, we're gonna go in the top of this, pull up a loop, pull it out, and we already did chain 1 and then our join, and now I just turn my work so it's easier. 3 double crochet to finish the corner. So you guys, it's harmless. Now, let me show you real quick what it looks like. So this is on this side because we're working around, but there it is, all connected, all one piece, really pretty, I think. And so, okay, we already did that. So now we're just gonna work across, again, back to the pattern. So I just finished that 3 double crochet, chain 1, because we are just working in the pattern. 3 double crochet cluster, or granny cluster, shell, whatever you wanna call it. Again, 3 double crochets, oops, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So the only time you don't chain 1 or chain 2 is when you're actually joining them. Everything else is always worked in the same pattern as before. 2, 3, chain 1. I have been waiting for this because, like, you guys, I had made most of my squares already, so I'm like, I gotta wait to make the video to show connecting them. And I guess I could have skipped ahead myself without having finished them, but anyway. So I've been waiting a couple days to do this because I am ready to be done and enjoy the blanket. It's so cute. 1, 2. So basically you just finish this last side the same way. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then chain 1 and add it to the top of your beginning chain. Or beginning double crochet, which again was chains, right? Chain 2 or chain 3, however you like to do it. Okay. And cut that off. And again, I like to loop mine in. You can do it however you like. Okay, so obviously it looks like this, but we just turn it over. And there's our top corner and the next one. Oopsie. And you would just continue down the line like this. So the next one, you get your red one out, you do the 2 sides, and then attach it on your 3rd side, finish off your 4th side. Keep going, keep going, keep going, right, until the 5th one. And it's all the same, right? Okay. So the next row, we're gonna attach one down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one prepared because it's basically the same thing. You're only attaching one side. It's the same thing. But I want to show you a little something that's different about that. And then once you have that one down, you're gonna have something where you have to connect 2 sides. So again, it's the same thing, but it is slightly different. So I'm gonna show you how to do this one and this one. And then again, you keep going, and those are the only scenarios you're gonna have, right? So either straight, adding one to the bottom where you have to add catty corner, kind of basically your corner here, and then the one that's gonna be like a L shape added. I'll be right back. Okay, so let me put this to the side here. So we have those two. Again, this is 5 across. I would have done all 5. Keep going, boom, boom, boom. 5. Now we're on to the next row. So I already have this one worked up. It's the one that's going to go here, obviously. And so again, 2 sides starting with our corner, just like what I showed you in the last one. Now when I get here, I'm going to, I already have my chain 1. Oh, I see, this got kind of funny. I'm going to do 3 double crochets into our corner. 1. And I'm sorry that the camera doesn't pick up too much of a difference between the purple and the blue. It is a lot different. Hopefully with the black, maybe it'll be more noticeable. Okay, so we did a half of our corner. We're going to chain 1. And so now we're going to add them in here. And now this time I'm doing it, you can, I mean, basically this is the only way you do it, because you normally work from right to left when you're crocheting. But so now we have this corner. We have to attach it to a corner again, right? So if you open these up to our chain 2 spaces, basically, which it's really a chain 1 and an addition, you have these little holes. Hopefully you can see that, right, in the corners. So what I'm going to do is stick this hook, right, into the one on the right, not to this one. And you can, but if you hook it to this one and then the next one's going to hook into this one, you're going to have like a little hole here. Does that make sense? If this guy's holding on here and the next one's holding on here, what's holding it here? Nothing, right? So we're going to do a little crisscrossing. So that's the only thing that's different. So this time I'm going to put my hook into the space up here. Again, yarn over, bring up that loop, and then pull it into your loop on your hook. So now we've attached it in that corner. Let's finish our corner, which is 3 double crochet into that same space. 1, 2. Oh, we finally got packets, but not really for the kids. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. You have to click on every day these little tabs and make sure you get everything and then print it out, and it's kind of crazy. So hopefully you guys are doing okay if you're homeschooling right now during this time. Okay, so again, we're not going to chain 1, but we are going to go into, let me show you what this looks like, because I'm sure later if you need a reference, it's like this. So it's kind of weird because it's hooked onto this one on the right, but don't worry. So hopefully you can see that. Again, this one's just open. We haven't used this hole yet. So I'm going to pull that tight, go into the next chain 1 space. Again, yarn your hook into there, pull up a loop, and then pull that yarn through the loop that was on your hook. And chain 3 double crochet into the one you're working on, right? This is the one we're working on. We got to finish this guy up. So 1, and now it's basically the same thing. 1, 2, and try not to be too tight. But again, I think the tendency is to make it a lot looser now that you have something kind of pulling on you back here. So again, no chain 1. We're just going to go into the next space, pull up our loop, pull it through, loop on our hook, yarn over. I'll do a close-up right now just in case that what I've been showing you is too far away. I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to have a little space to see exactly what's going on, but sometimes it's better to have a close-up. So 2, 3 double crochets. Okay. Hopefully I don't. Okay. So we just connected that, right? So it looks funny because it's barely holding on. That's all it is. Okay. 3 double crochet. Again, we're going to go into the next chain 1 space, which is this one right here, right? We just used that one. We're going to go in there. And hopefully, okay, obviously I have a loop on my hook. You always have a loop on your hook. If you don't have a loop on your hook, then you're not crocheting because there's no way you can do anything without that. So I'm putting it in through that hole and bringing my yarn around however you can catch it. It might be that you have to catch it a different way. It doesn't matter. Just catch that thing in there and pull up a loop. So by pulling that up, now we have 2 loops. But that first one that's closest to your hook is the one we just brought up, and we have to basically push it into the loop that was already on our hook. And now you've exchanged it basically for the working yarn. Yarn over, 3 double crochet into the next 1, 2. And you see I'm not working as fast as I normally do, right? I'm just kind of, okay, because I'm being more careful. Again, no chain 1. Go into that next chain 1 space from before, put your hook in there, wrap it around, bring up that loop, and then pull that through your loop. Yarn over, 3 double crochet. So we're gonna finish up this side and then I'll finish the rest of it because it's easy, but one, and then I'll come back and show you that last scenario that you're gonna run into as you're attaching your pieces. So those are basically the 3 scenarios, I guess. Again, no chain 1. So don't forget that. I always have the tendency to go to do it because you've been working a pattern for so long, like you remember that's what you do, but no. Go in here, pull up our yarn. We're almost done attaching this one. I'm like super excited right now about this because I tell you, it works up really easy, really fast. I mean, I'll probably have this done by the end of the day, hopefully. Oh, see, I wanted to chain 1, but no. So we did our 3 double crochets and we only have 1 more space left plus our corner. So 1 more space, again, just put it in there, bring up a loop, pull that through. And as you can see, the yarn ends up in the back. I'm bringing it to the front where I need it and then doing my yarn over so I can continue. So now we're at the corner. So 3 double crochet. Oh no, someone's waking up. 1, hold on mama, 2, 3 double crochet. And this time we are chaining 1 because we did have a chain 2 normally there, but we're just doing 1 and then plus an attachment. So here we are back in our corner. We chained 1 corner, same thing, just shove it through there, wrap our yarn around, bring up that extra loop, and then pull that loop through what we had on our crochet hook, and finish with our, in that same chain 2 space, the last cluster. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, because now we're working in the same pattern and working across the rest of our granny, right? Just like normal. We're just going to finish off this granny square on this bottom side, and I'll be right back. So basically, same thing. Chain 1, finish your pattern, and then attach it to the top of your beginning chain, like we've been doing. 1, 2, 3. I gotta go settle Miranda down, and I'll be back. So chain 1, 3 double crochets across, okay? Finish that up. Okay, so I just finished this one, right? And then again, just finish it off like normal, that whole thing, and attach it to the beginning of your chain 3 or chain 2, however you like to do your grannies. So we've done this. Basically, we've made a corner. Again, if I was doing the whole thing, because I don't have time right now, I want to show you guys how to do this so I can get to it myself. It'd have 5 going this way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we started this guy. But now you have this, right? We haven't run into this yet, where we have to attach it to this edge and this side edge, right? To get it going. So my next color is this one. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and attach my yarn like I've been doing and work up one side almost completely. And I will be right back to do that part. And then we're gonna connect it here and then do this bottom edge. And that's all the scenarios, but I will be right back. Okay, so for this one, this is the trickiest one if you want to call it tricky, but so the rest of them you've seen these scenarios, it's easy, just have to join the one side. So to start this one off, we are going to start one side. We're not quite done yet. I did the last 3 double crochet cluster here. I need to chain 1, and we're gonna do half of a corner. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do our chain 1, and then again substituting one of the chain 1s for the connection. So on this one we are going to connect it to this corner, right? We have this corner left here. So again, just like we've been doing, in the top of it, going in, pulling up a loop, bringing that loop through the loop on your hook, yarn over, finish our corner. So 3 double crochets in that same corner space on the granny that we're working on. 2, 3. I hope this isn't confusing, especially if you're new. It's not confusing because as you're working on it, you'll see that obviously I can't put 3 double crochets over here. It's already done. It's for this side. It's for the granny we're working on. Again, no more single crochets. Now we're just connecting into the centers, into the next chain 1 opening, which is right here. Put it right in there. Get that yarn and pull it through the loop on your hook. Yarn over, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, on the granny that you're working on. So this is all the same. We're just going to go across this whole thing doing what we've been doing, 3 double crochets, right? Next chain 1 space right here, join it, 3 double crochets over here, right? So 3 double crochets on this one that we're working on, a join on the opposite one. I'll be right back once we get to the corner. Okay, so I just finished the last 3 double crochets. I am going to join it obviously here in the last chain 1 space before we get to the very corner, okay? But hopefully you can kind of see what's going on here. All right, so I just finished that. Again, connect it here in the last chain 1 space. And then we're going to do our 3 double crochets into our corner. This is so fun, you guys. This has worked up really fast actually, because I'm talking and I'm kind of doing it a little slower so you guys can see. And it's still pretty quick. I mean, I don't think this video is going to be that long, and I've already went through the scenarios you're going to run into. So 3 double crochets, chain 1. So now, let me pull this up a little bit more. We are going to join into our corner. As you can see, it makes kind of like a little triangle when you're done, like a little diamond. We've already used this hole, right, earlier. We used, well, we haven't used this hole, but it goes to there. So that's the other thing. You can do whatever you like, but it's nicer to kind of crisscross them so it holds onto each other. Otherwise, this space would be here, and these guys would be holding onto each other here. So again, we're not using this hole or this one. We're going to get this one. He's just kind of out here chilling. Hopefully you can see that, this guy. Okay, he's basically from the top right corner. So just the I guess catty corner, what do you call this? I don't know, on the opposite side. So again, let me pick this up. And as always, we're gonna go in the top. I'm gonna go into that hole, that space. Same thing we've been doing. Go through here, right? Pull up a loop. So I have to bring my yarn underneath so I can get it. Pull that loop up. So this one's gonna be a little bit thicker, a little bit more difficult, but not really. So you have your 2 loops, and then again, pull it through the loop that was on your hook, and you're good to go. And I'm gonna manipulate this a little bit because obviously you gotta turn your work however it is makes it easier for you to work. Now again, your yarn is down here. Bring it up over your hook because we're yarning over to finish our 3 double crochets. So just manipulate your work however you need it to be so it makes it more comfortable for you to keep working. 2, 3. Now, again, no chain 1 because we're still working. And I totally manipulated my work, so now I'm going to work across this edge because we have to connect this edge, right? So it's that L shape. So now, again, same thing we've been doing. Next chain 1 space, put it in there, pull up your loop, pull it through your hook, through your loop on your hook there, and now we're going to work into the next chain 1 space on the granny square we're working on. So you yarned over, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and again, this is what we've been doing, super easy, no chain 1. And if you have to lay it down to look, I mean, it's pretty easy to see what the next opening is, but if you have to lay it down to make sure so you don't end up over here or something, then do that, right? You end up in the wrong one right here. Pull up that loop. So I'm gonna go sit on my couch, have my little patches in front of me, and just keep working. So 1, 2, 3. And then again, connect into the next chain 1 space right here. Pull up that, oop, you know what? I was looking at the camera when I went to this. So in the top, pull up our loop. If something looks wonky, don't do it. Say, oh, okay, that's not right. Something that my yarn was like really wrapped around, kind of weird. So 1, what's crazy about this whole project is I just use these impeccable yarns, 4.5 ounces, and I have tons of it left still because I made it really big and airy, so it doesn't take a lot of yarn either. So I wanted it to be kind of soft because this yarn can be a little thicker, a little harsher because it's just acrylic, you know, your basic acrylic yarn. So it didn't take much of it, but it feels really nice. And I've always been afraid of this with this stuff, about washing it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get all pilly or kind of ugly because, you know, I mean, it's acrylic yarn. It looks awesome. I have my daughter's little blankets, really the only ones I've ever really washed, and they always look great. So I'm like, I don't know what I was always so afraid of, but anyway, I just did those 3. Again, join on the other side. I will be right back once I get to the bottom corner down here. Okay, so basically these blocks, the ones that are in the little L shape, are going to have several corners to you join this corner, you join this center corner, or whatever you want to call it, and then this bottom corner. So again, we're back at the beginning, or back at that corner. So I'm going to do my 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and again, if you need to lay it flat, but I would just have this on my lap, I'm just going to go into that corner, right, to that chain 2 space right there, yarn or bring in that loop and pull it through. And now let's finish our last 3 double crochet in our corner over here of the granny square that we're working on. Super easy, you guys. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. I feel like I try to keep it kind of simple and kind of trying to answer the questions that I know I would get mixed up with sometimes, especially when I was a new crocheter. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's it, right? We've basically attached that hole. It's upside down now because it started this way, but like as you're working around, things have to move. Again, if you had your 5, it would be more this way. The next one's going to be another L. You add it in, you add it in, you add it in. Okay, next row is going to be up here. It's going to start off with a basic, but then you're going to start adding in your L's basically, right? Your, like the ones like basically what we just did. So now we're done with that addition. So again, we're just going to work across here, going back to our pattern. I just finished those 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 1 because we need that space, and then go into our next chain 1 space from the round previous, and 3 double crochets. Oh, got a little too fast for myself there. Got a little too big for my britches. Okay, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet. I'm telling you guys, it works up so fast. 1, 2, 3. I think the longest thing that takes is weaving in the ends, but if you weave them in as you go along, it's a breeze. I waited till the end of making all my squares to weave them, but I just sat there watching TV and just wove them in, and no big deal. 3 double crochet, 3, what was that? 1, 2, 3. So obviously I made this small so it can be in the frame so we can just move on and I can show you the different scenarios that you're gonna run into. But hopefully that gets you going. 1, 2, 3. I will check in one last video, basically finishing it. I don't know if I'm gonna do an edging. So again, we add it to the top, right? Finish it off. If I do an edging, we will see. Oh, wouldn't that be cute if we did like a whole rainbow edge? No, no. I wanted to be done with it, but that would be really cute actually, and would make it that much bigger. I will think about that. I'll think about what we want to do for an edge. Again, this is your blanket. Do whatever you like. Excuse me. The point of the crochet along is that you all do the same thing basically together at the same time, but you know, obviously it's whatever colors you want to use and how you like it. So now open that up, and hopefully you can see these 4 are connected, but obviously it's just these 4. I'm going to continue lengthwise and then adding them all in. But those are the scenarios you're going to run into as you go to do your work. And when we're done, we will see how pretty it'll all look. Even if it looks a little bit wonky right now, you'll see. It'll be just fine. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have the links to anything that's pertinent, if it's the first videos, the pattern, all that stuff in the description box. And I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.